Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, on this beautiful Monday morning, you guys gonna have the thesis defense, yeah, and then this will be the second what is it, the second row or the second group for the student that gonna join the thesis defense. And then how do we going to do this one? Who will be the first to be the thesis contender? I'm gonna mention one name, and then if you guys can answer the previous thesis defense by your friends, so I'm gonna give you a chance to be the first. But if you can answer the questions, so it's mean I'm gonna choose randomly. Is that clear? And then before we are going to start the process of this thesis defense, let's recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, let's hope you guys can give a clear, comprehensive kind of explanation, elaboration based on your guys' complete thesis. Yeah, and for the thesis defense, you're going to have 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes to elaborate your complete thesis, and then 10 minutes here is the maximum time for you to give the comprehensive kind of explanations. After that one, you're going to have the Q&A things, yeah, and then that will be the final sessions, I guess, the Q&A, and then after that one, I'm gonna give you the score, but I'm not gonna let you know the score for today here, yeah, because it will be based on the chief of the English department. Is that clear enough, guys?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, before I'm giving the questions, I'd like to give you guys the option first. Who want to be the first? Come on. Anissa Maharani, Nur Alivia, Ines Ruhenza, or Nida Nur Shifa? Okay, since no one willing to be the first, I'm gonna mention the name that, yeah. I'm gonna mention Hanan Imtinani Fatia. I want you to please try to explain the thesis defense by your friends, yeah, by your senior Hanan Imtinani Fatia. Come on. Come on. Hanan Imtinani Fatia, please. Anyone, please? Hello? Hello? Anyone? The thesis defense by Hanan Imtinani Fatia. Okay, it's look like I'm gonna ask you guys to watch all the previous thesis defense first before you're going to join this thesis defense then. Okay, Anissa Maharani, what is it, please? The result of the thesis defense by Hanan Imtinani Fatia. Come on.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't remember.
But have you watched it?
I think I haven't watched Kahanams, but instead I think I watched Kresnas a lot.
Okay. Next, Nur Alivia then. Come on. Come on, Nur Alivia.
I remember Ka Tresna, sir. the thesis from Ka Tresna.
Okay, why Tresna? Anissa Tresna, Nur Alivia Tresna, Nida Nurushifa, come on, can you come with your explanation? What is it? The thesis defense by Hanan Imtinani Fatia. Come on.
I cannot remember, sir, but I've watched the Kahanan. The thesis advisor is Mr. Aswir.
Okay, you only remember the thesis advisor? Really? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. Ines Ruhemza, come on.
I'm not watching Hanan thesis, sir.
Okay.
I
Ananda, okay. What is it?
I watched a thesis from Diah Rahmawati, sir, class of
Yeah.
2016.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-uh.
Ananda Fauzia, okay. Have you watched Hanan Imtirani Fatia's thesis defense? Ananda?
I watched it, but I can remember. Can I request for Aris Dian Ratakia? That's it.
Okay, it seems like I'm gonna kick all of you out here and then you're gonna watch all the previous thesis defense first, or how is it? How that you are going to do it? Come on. Because I'm mentioning that's the popular name of your senior, right? Hanan Imtinani Fatia, and then she is now living in France, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, second chance, and then this will be the last chance. If you guys can answer this question, so it's mean you gotta watch all the previous thesis defense first before you're going to join this thesis defense. Do we have the agreement? Hello? Hello, Nur Alivia, Arisa Maharani,
Yes,
Nida
sir.
Nursita. Okay.
Okay, yes,
Inshallah,
sir.
sir.
Okay, second name I'm gonna mention here, it is Akbar. Come on, Akbar. Akbar from class of 2016 or class of 2017. Come on. Akbar's thesis defense, please. Okay, it seems like you guys not doing your homework. I told you to watch all the previous thesis defense before. Okay, I'm gonna start with Ananda Fauzia. Akbar thesis defense. What is it all about, please? Ananda Fauzia. Come on, Ananda Fauzia.
Sorry, sir. I watch Akbar.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick you out then. Next, Ines
Akbar,
Ruhemza.
Yes,
Ines
I know
Ruhemza.
about thesis from Akbar. It is about he use a domino card.
Okay,
I remember
dominant
that
card.
domino card as a media learning, and
Okay.
he using a pretest and post-test as to collecting the data. I
Okay.
know his thesis.
Okay, when did you watch his thesis defense? Ines Ruhemza?
When it is
Just now.
no. I know his thesis maybe 3 months. It is
Okay,
not
thank
now.
you. Thank you, Ines. Next, Nida Nurus Shiva, come on. What is it? Akbar thesis defense all about? Come on.
Thesis defense Kak Akbar.
Yep.
I've not watched, sir.
Okay,
I've not watched Kak Akbar thesis defense.
I'm gonna kick you out and then
Request,
please
sir.
watch all the previous one. Yeah, I'm gonna put you to the waiting room. Yeah. Okay, also with Nida Nurusipa and Ananda Fauzia. Next, Anissa Maharani, come on. Have you watched Akbar Thesis Defense,
Yes, sir.
please? Okay, come on.
I think I remember a little bit from what Ines just mentioned. Is it from aside from the dominoes? I think it was for the past tense type of to teach the grammar past tense using the domino card. And yeah, again, it's post test and pre-test one. And then from the conclusion that I can remember, the result was pretty significant, I'd say. So yeah,
That's
that's
all?
what I can remember. Yes.
Okay, next one. Nur Alivia, please.
Yes, sir. Actually,
Okay, come
I
on.
have not watched the Akbar thesis. Can you ask the other name like Dian Rosdianti?
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna kick you out of this one. Next, Hanifah Anis, please.
Yes, sir. If I'm not wrong, there use a younger card in a simple present tense using past and past tense, and the method that we use is using quantitative method.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So we have Anissa Maharani, Ines Uhenza, and Hanifah Anis. Yeah. You're going to be the first to join this thesis defense. And then I'm going to put Nur Alivia, Ananda Fauzia, and then Nida. I'm going to put you guys in waiting room. Please watch all the previous thesis defenders. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, I already put all of the three students to the waiting room. Okay, from 3 participants here, who want to be the first? Come on, Anissa, Ines, or Hanifah Anis?
You can choose, sir.
Okay, Ines Ruhenza, you will be the second. Anissa Maharani will be the first. Hanifah Anis will be the third. Okay. And then I'm gonna put you
Okay,
to waiting room. Don't forget to watch all the previous thesis defense first. Yeah. Okay, Ines, and then last one, Hanifah Anis. There we go. Now we have only
okay.
you and me. I'm gonna make you the co-host. Anissa
Thank you, sir.
Maharani. Yeah. Okay, wait a second. Okay, come on. Anissa Maharani, I already set you the
Okay.
co-host for this thesis defense. You can share your screen and then give your explanations. Best of
Okay,
luck.
sir. Thank you, sir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name is Anissa Maharani, and first of all, I would like to say my gratitude towards you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Sofian, for having your time as my examiner in this thesis defense. So today, right now, in this morning, I would like to present you my thesis defense presentation with the title of Self-Efficacy in EFL, Speaking Classroom, How Adult Learners Afforded in Small Talk Activities. And my advisor is Sir Aswir. On to the next slide. In here, in my presentation, there are 7 things that I want to talk about. The first is the background of the study, second is theories, third is research purposes, and then research framework, methods and procedure, 6 is findings and discussion, and last will be conclusion. And first, let's hop on to the background of the study. There are 3 points in here. The first is EFL adult learners are demanded to be skillful in speaking. So we all know that English is a language that we use to communicate with those who do not have a similar first language as we are. So That's why English is called as lingua franca. And because English also bridges people to get in touch efficiently, especially in professional and work fields. So that is why adult learners are demanded to be skillful in speaking skills in English. And the second point will be EFL adult learners are demanded to be able to build sentences with correct structures suitable with the speaking context. In here, because it is obvious, as we know, the requirement of a conversation between two or more people is so we can understand one and another. So that is why they are demanded to build their sentences well in a proper way where it is suitable for any context that they are having. And the last point will be the learners need to have high self-efficacy to be able to perform their best speaking skills. So this self-efficacy has an important role in their psychological way, which is like we talk about it in the next slide. So taking a theory from Bandura in here, because Bandura was the first person who defined self-efficacy in 1977. And in here, as we can see, Bandura defines self-efficacy as an individual's belief in their capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific achievement. Means that in order to achieve something, we need to believe in ourselves so we can do it once we believe in it. We can execute what we need to learn or to do to achieve it within our capacity. That's what Bandura defined as self-efficacy. And the second slide, and the next slide will be a research purpose. We have two purposes here. The first is to know how big the role of self-efficacy of adult learners in affording small talk performance. And the second will be the extent of how this learner put their highest and lowest self-efficacy in terms of small talk performance. So next slide, here we have the research framework where I found out that there are problems in how adults speak in class on EFL. And then we found out that self-efficacy is one of the factors. And then we do the research questions, research objective, and we do the hypothesis, and we collect the data and do the analysis of the data, and then findings and discussion, and finally made to the conclusion. Here we have methods and procedure. The first is methodology. I used a mixed method, or we can call it as quantitative descriptive. So as we know, in this method, there are two methods in it, the quantitative and qualitative side, which is in order to get well detailed explanation of my research, I use this method so the qualitative side can further explain the quantitative side. And here the research setting was the English for foreign learners, adult learners, foreign language adult learners of online speaking learning courses. And the research subject was 33 samples, the population, which I don't have any specific requirement, as long as they're adult and willingly to do my research. And the instrument was a self-efficacy questionnaire, and there are 15 items in it. The instrument that I used was a self-efficacy questionnaire where I adopted and modified from two sources. The first source was Schemers, Hu, and Garcia, was originally made in 2001. And the second questionnaire was originated from 1995 by Schwarzer and Jerusalem. And here is a brief about my findings and discussion. There are two sections for my questionnaire. And the first section was the ones that I adopted and modified from Schemers, Hu, and Garcia. It's about academic self-efficacy of small talk. There are 5 scales. The first is not confidence at all, very little confidence, some confidence, much confident, and complete confidence. And we can see here the first highest percentage of scale is here 38%, which is most of the respondents respond to the much confident, and the second highest was 32%, which is the complete confident. which we can conclude in here from the first section that 2/3 of the answer have proven that most of the learners feel confident with their performance in small talk in their speaking class. And here there are the second section, which is I adopted and modified from Schwarzer's and Jerusalem's questionnaire. And here we also have 5 scales. First is not all true, and second hardly true. Third is moderately true. Fourth, almost all true, and last is exactly true. And again, we have a similar type of answers here from the respondent. The first highest, again, number 4, almost all true, got 34% of the answers. And the second highest was the 33%. And yeah, pretty similar from the first section, where this indicate that they were always able to cope with what their speaking problems in their speaking class, and if they try hard and if they believe in themselves based on their capacity. Okay, and here is the table of the overall questionnaire that I got. The ones that I put green highlight on it, like for example, number 7 on the 4th scale, which is the much confident, as we can see, it got 17 response, which is the highest response out of all respond. And here it shows that the adult learners in performing small talk activities on EFL speaking classroom were confident to say that they have good motivation. Wait, here is the number 7 that I'm talking about. The statement was motivate yourself to perform your best speaking performance, and it got on number 4, it got 17 response. And in other words, it can be said that when the learners have a good motivation, they will have a good self-belief to perform their speaking skill task. And we're back to the table, and here we got number 10, 12, and 15 for the second section. On the number 10, we got 14 on the exactly true. Number 12, we got almost all true, also 14 answers. And number 15 got 14 and 14 in both almost all true and exactly true. And here is first, let's see number 10. Number 10, the statement was, I can always manage to solve my problems in speaking if I try hard enough. And the highest that we got is number 5, which is, it's proven that they can manage and solve their problems in their speaking class for the adult learners. And this is number 12, which is got 14 answer in number 4. It is easy for me to stay focused and finish my speaking performance smoothly. And the last is number 15, which got the scale number 4 and 5 with same amount, 14 answers, with from I can solve all barriers in speaking English if I put much efforts on it. Okay. So we can conclude that there are 2 conclusions, because the first is adult learner self-efficacy in small talk activities in EFL speaking classroom. The first questions, the conclusion is, even though the result was varied, 2/3 of the result from the 2 sections that we saw before of the self-efficacy questionnaire shows how important the role of self-efficacy in their activity. And yeah, the highest and the lowest that we saw, I only present you the highest ones, which is number 7, which got 17 answers. And while there are the rest 9 lowest statement, which is number 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And that is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Alisa, for the explanations. Now let's try to discuss more about your thesis. Let's go back with the first slide, please.
This one.
Starting with your title. Come on, go back with the
Oh,
first
okay.
slide. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, looking at your PowerPoint presentation here, Anissa Maharani, if you already watch the previous thesis defense, yeah,
Yes.
you should understand that I'm only asking 5 till 6 slides maximum. And then you came here with 18 slides for the thesis defense, yeah. And then I do, what is it? I do hit a longer kind of files, a longer kind of the point that you can deliver, yeah. Because for the previous thesis defense, I only asked first, it will consist of the title of the research. Second slide, it consists about the first chapter. Third slide, second, and then till the last one, the fifth chapter or the last chapter of your thesis. And then you're making it here 18 slides. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now, your title here is Self-Efficacy in EFL Speaking Classroom, how adult learners impart it in small talk activities.
Yes.
From your title here, I got several kind of terms that attract me to dig deeper. Yeah, the first here is self-efficacy. Second one, EFL speaking classroom. And the next one, adult learners. Last one here is small talk activities. Yeah. Based on this title, I would like to ask your comprehension first. What is it the term of self-efficacy that you mean for the research here?
The self-efficacy in my title will be close to self-belief, but it's not only self-belief. Self-efficacy is like self-belief with their own knowledge, their own capacity, how they afford it to achieve something that they want. And in here, we're talking about speaking. So I want to know, like, how the adult learners here, how the self-efficacy of the adult learners has a role in their speaking skills, because I think not many people really consider about the psychological way of the way speaking skill needs. For example, like the self-efficacy one, because I think from the result of my research, it really does important.
Okay, thank you. That's what we can call here by self-efficacy, and then now try to make it relevant with EFL speaking classroom. Since it is an adult learners, so here we call here what we mentioned like andragogy kind of teaching and learning, right? Okay, come on, try to explain that one.
Sorry, sir, I don't catch. I'm sorry, my connection is pretty bad.
Okay, when you mentioned
sorry.
about it is EFL speaking classroom, and then it is for the adult learners, yeah. So it's mean it is about the use of andragogy kind of teaching and learning, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, come on. Now I want you to please try to explain that one.
So in this class where I took place is like this English speaking course, which is online. The class is only the purpose, I would say the purpose of this class is to improve their confidence in speaking. So that is why, because the class itself is specifically made to help them to improve their confidence in speaking, in their speaking skill. Because
okay, wait a second, Icha. So which class here? You have your own class of the speaking class for the adult?
When I do the research.
Okay,
because I
so
also, yeah.
Okay, so you deliver teaching and learning. You teach them about speaking,
No,
or
I
only
watch,
getting the
I
data
watch
from
them.
them? You
I
watch
watch
them?
them. Yes, it was on Zoom meeting, so
And then
I joined them.
who's the instructor of it? Who's the teacher of it?
There are several guests, I would say. There are guests in the classroom.
Okay, how did you decide? Yeah, how did you decide it? Which one gonna be the Zoom meeting that you're going to join, and then you put it into your data?
So at first, sometimes it's not that I conducted, I was the host, I would say, the host of the class, and then the guests came in. So the activity of the class was like speaking one and another from the guests to the other participants, something like that. Yeah.
So it is only a conversation practice, I guess, for the
Yes.
adult.
Yes. Yeah.
Not
yes.
teaching
For the adult.
speaking, yeah, not
No.
the teaching speaking, because previously you were mentioning it is EFL speaking classroom, yeah, and then can we call that one as an EFL speaking classroom, Icha? Since you are not delivering the teaching and learning process, but it is only a room for you to practice your English, to make a dialogue, to make a conversation with all of the participants.
Oh. Oh no, there are some materials that the guests deliver, sir.
Okay, wait a second. You're the host of the meeting, right?
Yes.
And then we have also the guest. The guest here is the participant, all the 33 students that joining, or we have an extra of it.
An extra. A guest is like the mentor, I would say, like the professional person.
Okay, and then do you have the documentations when that you provide this kind of class for the adult learners?
Oh, I do actually, but I'm not well prepared with it, sir. I took some pictures.
Okay, that's okay. And now let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, wait a second. Before we're gonna go with that one, you're mentioning here about small talk activities. Small talk activities. What is it? The small talk
Oh yeah.
activities.
Small talk activities is like before small talk is like a basic let's say from a normal classroom in a educational field. All the teachers and the students, they do small talk activities for their activities, right? And that is why I take small talk activities. Just it's not because it's a basic thing, but small talk activities we need it also in our life, because how do we actually start a conversation? Start from a small talk first, and then we grew it for like into a large conversation. Everything starts from a small talk, as in basa basi, I would say.
Yeah, that's lead us, to be honest, to the main question for this title, I guess. Since you were talking about EFL speaking classroom and it is the adult learners, and then based on your finding, you're mentioning some kind of very confidence, yeah, and then not confident at all, and then blah blah blah. So starting with how did they deliver small talk itself?
So it was started from how the guest is like talk about a brief, I would say a brief, what was it again? A brief conversation about themselves. So the guests talk about themselves briefly, like where did they go to, where did they live, where do they work and stuff. And each participant had the chance, let's say 5 minutes, to talk with the guest, like however whatever conversation that they're having.
Okay, do you know the distinction between a regular, a common kind of teaching and learning with the adult learners, with the pedagogy kind of teaching and learning? if you're going to teach an adult learners, you're not going to give every single kind of explanations, but your role as the facilitator, it's different if it is for the primary, junior, and then also senior high, and then the university students. You're playing a big role for you here, not only to facilitate him, but you're going to explain every single things for that. Yeah.
Yes.
And the undergoing here, you're only giving a stimulation for them, and then also how that you're going to attract their attentions, yeah, to what is it, to discuss more about the content that they're going to learn. That's a difference.
Actually,
Okay, come on.
Actually, I have an answer for that. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay.
Some of the, not some, most of the session, I would say, the guests sometimes cannot join in. So at the end of the day, I will be the one who deliver the materials. It's not like materials, it's like sometimes the materials is about how do you confidently talk and help them to improve their confidence. Like, let's say, how do you actually public speak, and then how do you confidently talk face to face with other person, something like that.
Okay, how many sessions did you guys have with this research?
I didn't count. There were two sessions each week, and I did it for, since I can't remember, since I think it's pretty a long time, not long time. Since I hand you the
It is
title,
a long
sir.
time, not a long time. So
No,
what
I mean,
is it specifically?
Since I hand you my title, sir, I cannot remember when it is.
Okay, now let's go in the next slide, please.
Yeah.
Go in the next slide. Come on, let's talk about the background of this study. You're mentioning EFL adult learners are demanded to be skillful in speaking skill. Now, can you prove it from the background of this study here why EFL adult learners demanded to be skillful in speaking skill? Any data, any fact of it that mentioning this one here is the obligation for the EFL adult learners. Come on, Anissa.
Yes, sir. So the data that I got, one of it is Ar-Rashidi journal in 2020, and he the result of the article, his research said that developing skill speaking is not easy as it might seem, and EFL students are affected by several major factors, including psychological effect and something. And in here also,
okay, cut it out. Adisa Maharani, you were taking some kind of reference. When you try to make the background of this study, it should be relevant with the setting of your research, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so dear Pidden, the proof that I need you to deliver here, it should be based on the research setting that he conducted, and not mentioning some random kind of previous research. Okay, you can put some previous research on it only to support your statement. When you mention this background of this study about EFL adult learners are demanded to be skillful in speaking skill. If you try to quote from some kind of expert based on their research, so it's not relevant with the research that he conducted. Can you see the point?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go. Okay, what is it?
So, what was I about to say again? So meaning that the background of this, where do I found the idea of why the learners demanded to be skillful in speaking?
Yeah.
So, and have I done the research, or did I look through it? If that what you mean, sir?
Yeah, I mean, when we try to conduct a research, we have to consider the participant.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. Second one, I guess it will be the same. Yeah, well, the learners are demanded to be able to build sentences with correct structures, with the speaking done text. You can come with this kind of explanations, yeah, based on your statement, and then you can give a support. You can try to quote from some experts.
Okay.
That should be better. And the last one, you're mentioning also your adult learners need to have high self-efficacy to be able to perform their best speaking skill. This was your I can mention this will be your, what is it? I have a thesis for this research because you're claiming self-efficacy here is one of the important things. Yeah, so they can speak good enough, well enough for that.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go with the next slide, please. Okay, the theorist 1977, really? To be honest, when we talk about the theories, all of the literature review that you can use to support the research, it should be based on the theories that gonna support your research starting from 2010 till 2022. Yeah, that should be better. That's okay if you come with this 77 Bandura and then you can compare it with the research from 2010, yeah, and then with the research also from 2021 and then 2020. That will be better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next please. Next. Okay, for the research purpose, you're mentioning to know how big the role of self-efficacy of adult learners. Okay, wait a second. We have the intruders. I'm gonna put her in waiting room. There we go. Okay, to know how big the role of self-efficacy of adult learners in avoiding small talk performance. It's kind of, what is it? You're not trying to be consistent here, I guess. The previous one, you're mentioning focusing on, what is it? A speaking skill. Yeah, and the next one you are mentioning here about a small talk itself. Try to make it relevant. If you are going to mention a small talk with the speaking on it, so you're going to put the research purpose based on the speaking on it also. And then next, to find out the extent to which this learner, okay, this learner put their highest and lowest self-efficacy in terms of small talk performance. We can see here no speaking thing. You focus based on small talk. Yeah. So since your title here is about the speaking classroom, so you're gonna put the speaking on it also. Okay, Icha. Next slide, please.
Thank you.
Next slide. Okay, this is for the research framework. Okay, problems in adult speaking class of EFL. Yeah. Okay. One of the factor, research questions, research objective, hypothesis, data collection, till the conclusion. Skip this one. Next, please. Okay, you're mentioning here quantitative descriptive, and then it is a mixed method. If you're mentioning it is quantitative descriptive, a type of mixed method paradigm, so do we have a qualitative kind of mixed method?
Sorry, sir?
Okay, since you're mentioning here this quantitative descriptive mixed method, do we have a qualitative kind of mixed method?
I don't actually know, sir.
Okay, have you consulted with your advisor why that you're mentioning quantitative descriptive and then it is a mixed method? Have you asked your advisor about this one?
My advisor said it was okay to do it, and I said, so yeah. Sorry, sir. I've tried my best to ask away.
Okay. Because you need to read more reference, I guess, about the mixed method. Yeah. Why we call this research as a mixed method? Because your research here, you're going to have a deeper, you're going to have more comprehensive finding, more, what is it? More clear finding, because you're using two two kind of, what is it? Two kind of the type in research. First, you're using quantitative one, and then you mix it also with the qualitative one. If you're using this one, it seems like a quantitative, but you're choosing mixed method on it. Why? Why don't you just use a quantitative descriptive? Yeah, because it is only what is it? It is only giving the descriptions. It is only talking about how self-efficacy among the adult learners. So where is it? The qualitative one. If you try to claim this as your mixed method.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. And the next one, the research setting, you're mentioning about adult learners of online speaking learning course. Yeah. And then what is
Yes,
it?
sir.
Where here? Virtual English. What is it?
English room, virtual English room.
Okay. Okay, as long as I'm concerning about the terms that you use. So you're mentioning online speaking learning course. When you try to make there, it is not relevant. So you may use just a virtual English room. That should be relevant. Okay.
Okay.
Next, the research subject in the population, 33 samples. Okay, let me ask you first. When you mention about the population, when you mention about the sample itself, we have the difference between the population and then also the sample of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So how many the sample, how many the population? Because a sample here is a part of the population, right? A part of the population. Yeah. And then can you mention how many the total amount of the population that you got for this research?
I think it was around 50-ish.
Okay.
50 something, yes.
50 something.
Yes, the overall population. And I reached them through WhatsApp, and only 33 people who answered to my chat. So yeah.
That's all?
Yes.
Okay, next slide, please. Next. Okay, the instrument. So for getting the data, for gathering the data, for collecting the data, you only use a self-efficacy questionnaire. For that, no interview, no observations, no test for them.
So yes, originally I want to do a questionnaire and interview since it was mixed method. But my advisor said based on the questionnaire itself, he said that it's already answered the question that I want to ask on the interview, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's indicating a big question for the mixed method that you use for this research. Yeah, because I told you when it is a mixed methods, let me give you the analogy of it. Yeah. Okay, this one here is a quantitative kind of research. Consists of, let's say, okay, 150 pages. And then this one here is a qualitative one. Consists also 100 pages of it. Yeah. So simply a mixed method, you can see consists of these two tests. So we're gonna have 250 pages for conducting a mixed method. Do you see my point? If it is only a descriptive, a quantitative descriptive kind of things, so you just go with the quantitative one. You don't have to do a mixed method things.
Okay. I will call it as quantitative answer, yeah.
It's up to you, yeah.
Okay.
Or you may revise it and then it will become a proper kind of mixed method. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so I will ask my advisor.
Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, for defining and then discussion, look at this one. Yeah. It is a narrow kind of mixed method once again, because it is only based on the questionnaire. and how
Okay.
deep the data that you can find through the
Okay.
questionnaire. Yeah.
Okay.
So in mixed method, you need also to mix all the instrument that you can use to collect, to gather a various kind of data. So you can have a legit kind of finding, and then you can claim your research as a mixed method.
Mixed method. Okay, sir.
Okay, next, please. Next. Next, I'm not gonna talk about
Okay.
this one. Next, come on. Okay, look at this one. Yeah. Next, come on. I'm not gonna give a comment. Next.
Next.
Till the
Next.
conclusion.
Okay.
Okay, look at this one. Adult learners self-efficacy in small talk activities in EFL speaking classroom. For the conclusions you're mentioning, even though the result was varied, 2/3 of the result from the two sections of the self-efficacy questionnaire shows how important the role of self-efficacy in their activity. Okay, so for this one, for the conclusion that you created, it is not the conclusion for a mixed method one. Because it is a narrow kind of conclusions. You are making a research, and then it is only two sections of it. And the next one, there was, what is it? There was one statement, number 7 has the highest response. Well, there are 9 lower statement. And then based on this conclusion also, it is a simple, easy kind of research. Delivering a questionnaire and then trying to analyze the result of the questionnaire. That's a quantitative one. This is a big kind of research. Okay. Okay, Anissa Maharani, and then after all of my suggestion, all of my statement for you here, I hope we are going to discuss starting with your first chapter, second chapter, till the last chapter of your content thesis of the test one.
Okay, sir.
Have a time to revise your content thesis, and then I hope you're going to discuss also with your advisor. Based on what we had for today. Okay, Anissa Maharani, is that clear enough? Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
So based on your suggestion, on the research purpose, right? You mentioned that I need to add the speaking part.
Yeah.
Yes. So which is I need to add 2 more of research purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. And the theories I only need to like compare it to the newest research and background of the study. Okay. And how should I hand it to you?
Okay, you're gonna come to me. You're gonna come to me to my office here, and then starting. It is only you gotta note if you already watch all the previous statistics, it will be different. The suggestion based on your PowerPoint presentations, and then the revision that you're going to have with your content thesis. So when you come to my office, you're going to bring your content thesis, and then we're going to do the revision, starting from how did you make a sentence for the background of this study till how did you make a conclusion for your fifth chapter.
Okay, sir.
Okay, is that clear enough, Anissa Maharani?
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay, and then who is your second examiner?
Miss Lydia.
Okay, best of luck for the second
Thank you,
examiner
sir.
then, and thank you for attending
Thank
the
you very
thesis
much.
contender. I hope based on your performance, you're gonna pass
Okay,
for
sir.
this thesis defense. And then after this one, you may leave this meeting. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Anissa
very
Maharani.
much, sir.
Okay. See you for the revisions. Yeah.
Yes, see you, sir.
Hello, Ines. Are you ready? You're the second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna make you a co-host first. There we go. Now you may give the explanation, and then it will be 10 minutes maximum to give the explanation of your competencies. Time is yours, please.
Did you see my PPT, sir? Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Mr. Sofian Hadi, as the examiner, let me introduce myself. My name is Ines Rohenza, and today I want to present my thesis with title Students Tenses Comprehension with through English subtitle, KBS World TV Variety Show Hello Cancel. The first is background of study. Grammar is one aspect of English that must be understood in order to improve your English in making a sentence. And grammar is also a method for creating a good sentence and ensuring